now. Cameroon, Lagos.
Mm-hmm.
More of Lagos, more of you, yeah. Port Harcourt, Ijoma. So all of you are welcome. Let me go on Facebook. Let me see who is there. Adewumi, you're welcome. Okweyemi, you're welcome. Drop your location. Akuka, Lagos. Abuja, Joytambo, my sister, Lagos. Then, so you're all welcome to today's show, Meet Your Success Partner episode 10. 10 is the 10th episode. We've been hearing from our star directors how they got started in their in network marketing, their journey so far in long reach, and the challenges, success stories, and tips to help new ones and old ones in the business grow. And so we are so privileged to have one of the best in network marketing and in long reach in our midst today. She's a woman I respect so much and a very detailed woman also. She's the CEO of High Flyers, a very formidable team, and we have strong star directors in those team too. I think we've interviewed a few of them in your team, some of your leaders. And so the Hezzy before us is star director 3. Mrs. INIMFON UBONG-COLONEL. I hope I can pronounce the Colonel.
You try.
Colonel.
No, Colonel.
Colonel, okay.
Yeah.
Colonel. And she has raised so many leaders in this profession. She's human like us. She has been through the process, and she's here to share with us what it means, what it takes to succeed in this business. And so we want to hear from you, the boss lady, how you got started in network marketing first.
We've all been going about our businesses, not really thinking about this kind of initiative, but you came up with it, and it's a way of helping those who are coming up, who may not be able to reach us. And I mean, you've kept at it, and that's wonderful. Well done, sir. Okay, so how did I get it?
Thank you very much. We cannot allow the women to finish us. We need the money you guys are earning. We need that money. There is no gender equality.
I'm coming there. Before now it was for women. It was women's thing. Now I'm happy that men are saying it's our thing. Okay, so I got into network marketing through my mom. I grew up to see my mom as because she was a nurse. She's a retired nurse right now. Somebody working in the hospital. She was always having all sorts. She was always coming back home with different kinds of network marketing businesses, all sorts. I mean, so I got into network marketing through her. I mean, she's been an entrepreneurial person from onwards. Even with her nursing career, she still had a lot of other things going on, sewing, decoration, and that's why I have most of these things going on for me as well. So that's how I got to know network marketing. So I've had a lot in the past. I had my fingers burned severally. I mean, most times I actually even confuse network marketing with pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes, which I'm going to talk about it today because a lot of people do not know the difference. And so we tend to call pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes network marketing. And so when we get our fingers burnt, we come back and say network marketing doesn't work. All right. So that's where I've always been. Long Reach, like I said, is my number 6. You know, I've done a lot from my mom, yes. Even though I was doing all of that without knowledge, I was just following to do, okay, mom, she said we should do, so I would just follow her and do a few then. But by the time I grew up, I mean, by the time I got married, I got into 2 knowingly, you know, but you know those bottlenecks, which really like doesn't allow you to go forward, like all of those auto ship things, all of those SSDs, you know, auto ship where you must buy every listening to her. My husband was actually inside, and just as she was about rounding up, you know, encouraging me to sign up and all, my husband walked out, walked into the living room and said, anything network marketing is not accepted in this house. Madam, carry your things and be going. You know, so she felt bad, and in a way not to make her feel bad that day, I actually bought a few things from her. That's for the Long Reach now. I bought a few things from her. I bought the toothpaste, I bought the sanitary napkin, I think I bought the soap as well. And then all of this, I bought them on credit because I really didn't have money. I was being owed salary. I was working somewhere where I was working in a travels and tour company where I had not been paid salary for like 4 months. And then my salary was about 20K. I had not been paid for 4 months. And I was busy praying that God will open doors. And the doors came, we pursued the door away. You know, it actually took my son, my eldest son, as at then he was 9 years old, telling me something that actually woke me up from my slumber or from my sleep. Because for me, I wanted to be an obedient wife. You know, I didn't want to disobey my husband who said I shouldn't. So I just told my friend, don't worry, I'm going to be your best customer. If the product is good, I'll help you sell. Don't worry about it. You know, so I went back. I mean, I was using the product and they were good. But, you know, things were difficult because as at then, my husband had just lost elections because I mean he was into politics, and I mean you know how politics is. He contested for chairmanship in our local government and he lost it. So we're like, you know, when you have everything you have just goes into the drain just like that. It was really bad for us. It was a bad time, and for like a couple of Sundays we couldn't take our children out because usually then every Sunday we just after service we go to one fast food or the other just for them to have fun. And so for like how many Sundays we couldn't take them out, and you know we need to be sensitive about what we tell our children. So most times after service I'll come into the car and my children will be like, oh mommy, we are going to Kilimanjaro, and I'm like, no, not Kilimanjaro today, there is no money. I didn't know the thing was sinking in. So by I think the third Sunday or so, my first son with so much anger told me, mommy, every time you don't have, oh boy. For the mail, what are you doing? You know, I like, oh really? So it was then that it dawned on me that that was actually an open door that I was not seeing. And I told myself that day, I told God, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do something about it. And I made up my mind that I was gonna sign up in Long Beach, and whatever happens, I don't know. But Father, you've just opened my eyes to this opportunity. I'm gonna just take a step, and then I will see how it goes from there. I didn't really understand how it worked. I didn't understand anything. I just told myself I'm gonna sign up, and you know, I didn't have money. But there's this 100,000 naira I had in the bank that I was saving. You know, ladies will understand what I mean. You never have money, but that money is just there somewhere. You keep saving. It's never enough for what you want to use it for, and because there is no income coming in, you know. So I keep going to the ATM. Thank God for ATM. I'll go to ATM. 1,000, 2,000. Before I knew it, 100,000 reduced to about 70,000. So that day I just told myself, okay, so what's the worst thing that can happen to this money? Because I was always afraid that the money will finish. So I was like, I was really mising that money. That's the truth. So that day I just told myself, what's the worst that can happen to this money? And I said, if this money gets missing, if I'm duped now, I mean, won't I be alive? I will still be alive, you know. So I made up my mind that I was going to invest the money in Long Beach. And even if I don't lose, I mean, I don't gain anything, I mean, I'm not going to cry because this is an investment, and then anything would have happened to the money. I just made up my mind that I was going to invest the money. And then I also looked at it that I was not going to lose anything actually, because Udeme had told me that whatever money I'm bringing in, I'm going to get products worth my money. So I said, okay, worst case scenario, I will sell off my products and get back my money, and then I will know how it goes from there. So the following Monday, that was Monday morning, I went to Zenith Bank on Accra Road. I cannot forget. I was there. I called Udeme, where are you? Come to Zenith Bank. But I was pained. You know how you're closing your accounts? Yeah. This particular money wasn't my husband's money. It was my own hard-earned savings. So it was hard. It was really, really hard. I didn't know how the next meal was going to come. I didn't know Jack, but I just made up my mind that this account I'll close you and I'll start. So when I called her, she was shocked. When I told her to come over to Zenith Bank, that I'm ready to start the business, this is the money. She was like, what happened? I said, don't even. I told her, say, don't ask. Always wait for 3 are gathered. I became discouraged about going for meetings because it wasn't interesting. So it was always the same thing all over and over again. So at the point, I just stopped going for meeting. And well, they told me I should sign up my children. That was the next thing. Udeme encouraged me I should sign up my children. Oluchi was encouraging me to. But I told them no, that in network marketing, you don't sign up children. Why are you guys telling me to sign up children here? You know, I was busy arguing. And today, I regret till today, I regret that argument. You see, that's one of the things I keep telling people that, you know, I'm beginning to drop a few tips now. When you
We
come on
want
board,
them. We
language
want
is
the
totally
tips.
different from,
It's part of the
language is
story.
totally different from every other network marketing businesses. You know, I came in with the mindset that language was the same, you know, and because of that, I lost out. You know, I was thinking if you're not up to 18, you cannot sign up. Meanwhile, I should have listened to what the people who were already in the business were doing. Udeme had signed up her children. Oluchi had signed up.
Just all the little guys. You know the rules here. If you are new here, the rules is that whatever tip you are getting from this video, you need to drop it in the comment. Drop it in the comment. From a story, you can learn a lot. Remember, you can make someone to sell for you. That is one. I've got it before the person decides to join your business. So people are good at selling. So she was selling for her upline before she decided to join the business. There are certain people like that. There are people like that when they want to join your business. But tell them the value of the business. So whatever you're getting. Now the second one is that you have to listen. Listen to your upline, what they are telling you. Or some of you will tell you, sign up your family member. You argue. Listen.
Oh my
now.
God.
So people are still arguing.
That argument has cost me years and years of regrets. You know, and I didn't sign up my children. And meanwhile, I was busy looking for who would sign up under me, busy looking everywhere, and everybody kept telling me no. From my family, remember, my husband was not even interested in the business, so he didn't even want to hear about it. Everyone from my immediate family to my extended family, the ones I reached out to, everybody told me no. was in Abuja. The closest was Port Harcourt. I never really got to hear about anybody around Akwa Ibom State, getting results. So I was like, okay, so what are these people really doing? What are they doing that is different from what we are doing? Why are they getting the results? And I began to discover a lot of things. That was when I discovered the book, my first year in network marketing. I got it on the internet, and I was like, wow, okay. I had to go look for that book because number one thing that was my problem then was rejection. So I was looking for a way to deal with that rejection. So I went straight to that book. As soon as I got the book, the first thing, I just went to the table of contents and I saw rejection. After I read rejection, I will tell you that I've not opened that book again. But I read rejection and it slapped my head. I was like, okay, so I don't have to take it emotion. I don't have to attach emotions to this. Everybody who is an entrepreneur faces rejection. Okay? That was like one of the first lessons I got from, the books that I started reading. So I was like, okay, that means it's not peculiar to me, because at that then it was as if the world had turned against me. Everybody was against me. Nobody was interested in what I was going through and all of that. But I got to know from that book that everyone who is successful today faced rejection and are still facing rejection. So I was like, okay, that's actually, made me stronger. So I woke up it was that day that I told myself, after I discovered, I started going back to the people I had spoken to. So let me tell you how I got my first sign up. The first sign up I had after that time was, this is my friend. I had my classmate in secondary school. She lives in New York as well. So I was like, okay, I called her. Where are you? She said she was at home. The husband works in an oil and gas company. So I know she has money. Money won't be a problem. So, but I've been following her up and she was not really, showing for. But that day I just said, okay, let me visit her. I went to her house carrying products. So as soon as she opened the gate, she was like, INIMFON, I told you that I'm not interested in this thing. Why are you coming to my house with all of this? Lesson learned. Never go to see people with lots of products. It has a way of turning people off. It turns people off. People don't like to be sold. People don't like to be forced to do things they don't want to do. All right. So I thought, okay, don't worry. I will leave it at in the chat room. Then that's why one of the best thing you can do for any new sign up is to connect them to a chat room. Thank God for social media. Thank God for technology. Make sure that whoever you're signing up, you connect them. I was in that chat room and when messages come up and you're like, what are these people doing? Then we had them BlackBerry, BB Messenger.
Yeah, BB.
And so we're using that. So what her name? Hannah, SD Anna, two-star director Hannah today got her first mega alert, and that was like the biggest then, within our circle in Uyo. She got about 92,000 something. And I was like, wow, she posted it on the chat room. When I saw it, I was like, how did she get 92,000? Meanwhile, I was busy struggling with 20,000 naira salary that had not been paid for 4 months. So that means, no, I mean, I couldn't get it. I called her, I said, babe, how did you get 90-something thousand naira? Immediately, she actually called us together to a back road to just go, to share some drinks, to celebrate the biggest alert, So when we got there in the evening of that day, I couldn't concentrate. Throughout the celebration, I kept asking her, how did you get 90-something thousand? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do to get 90-something? How come Long Reach paid you 90-something thousand naira? That was when I told her, I said, whatever you did to make 90-something thousand naira, I'm going to do 10 times more. I'm going to do 10 times more. And that became like a turning point for me because I went crazy. I went all out. From, with Udeme, we were going everywhere. That was when we started, going outside Uyo. In fact, one particular trip that we went, I can't forget that particular trip because it cost us so much, but we came back with nothing. Imagine leaving Uyo, I don't know, but somehow even though my husband did not support the idea of Long Reach, he didn't stop me. That was a good thing about it. Sometimes you will see the product. The only thing he will do, he'll tell me, I don't want to see this product here. I don't want you. I'll put it in the car. Then we had one car. I won't call it push and start, but it was a push and start. So he will see the product. He will tell me, I don't want to see these products. Take them away. And by the next morning we went to Bayelsa with all of this stress. By the time we went to Bayelsa, guess what? With all the radio announcements, with all the publicity the guy did, only his family members, they were not up to 10. They were not even up to 8. They were not up to 8, So, and meanwhile, the hall was a big hall. So you can imagine, I'm sure in fact, the people that came so that he will not use it against them, just to show solidarity, with their family member. And so they came, sat down. With the men will talk, I will carry baby, for her, and then she will talk, just be exchanging like that. And by the time we came back, like I said, no single PV. But we came back to you. I couldn't face my husband because he asked me, he said, so how did it go? I said, it was fine. Very fine. It went well. You know why I did that? I will tell you why I did that. This is another lesson. You don't. Okay, let me tell you why I did that. When I was facing those deep rejections. Every time I come back home, I'll be, feeling moody. I will tell him, one of those days, he told me, who is forcing you to, must you do it? Shebi, I told you, it's not your thing, leave it. He kept discouraging me not to continue that. This thing is too stressful for you. Leave it. After all, there's food for you to eat. So I couldn't tell him that what I went for didn't, wasn't productive, because he would have told me, oh yeah, it is time to stop. So you don't share your negative experiences with people. You deal with it. Rather, what I learned to do is to, negative up, positive down. What do I mean by that? Anytime you're negative, anytime you have any negative experience whatsoever in your business, whether it's rejection, whether it is discouragement, whether it is whatever goes wrong, that is anything that is negative, rather than go to share with your prospects, rather than go to share with your downlines, take it to your upline. Take it to whoever you admire in the business who is doing well. All right.
Yes.
So I learned that,
Yeah.
and that was a wonderful experience. Taught me a whole lot, even though it wasn't nice. But I learned a whole lot from it, and I came back. I told myself I will continue because I had my why. I will. Sometimes you have to deal with, in fact, I had to list out certain skills. This is another thing. Certain things that I wasn't good from the beginning. This is another thing that I said we need to people need to understand that you don't have to be good at the beginning. At the beginning, I wasn't good. In fact, to stand and do a presentation was a big problem. In fact, I couldn't face a crowd. In my church, I can't even stand to testify. No matter what God has done for me, I prefer to say it in the house fellowship, where two or three are gathered, but not to stand on the stage with microphone. I was that shy, very, very shy, So, but something made me wake up. Something made me wake up. One of those days, I had Udeme for, always being there. She was always doing all the presentations, always standing up to talk. But one of those days, she didn't show up. And I love the fact that she didn't show up, because that was when I realized that I needed to learn communication skills, presentation skills. You can imagine a whole field with people, and then the person who is supposed to present is telling you she's on her way. She's on her way. And these people were already complaining. Some of them were already going. And I looked, I said, CPV. I was wondering how I was going to carry my... Well, what happened was I just decided to take the bull by the horn. I carried microphone to speak. And man, it was terrible. Terrible experience. I finished my talk in less than 10 minutes. I don't think it wasn't even, I'm not sure it was up to 5 minutes. I finished talking and I ran away. I ran away from the scene. I couldn't face anybody. That was when I made up my mind that I was going to learn. In fact, I was going to list out the skills that I needed in order to be successful in the business. That was when I found out I needed people management skills, I needed leadership skills, I needed communication skills. Communication here has to do with prospecting, presentation. Anything that you just have to talk with people. In fact, I had to take a course in public speaking. Even though I didn't finish that course, I ran it. But I had to take a course in public speaking. All of this
Right.
I did, just to be able to take my business to the next level. And I could talk about, okay, GoPro is another book, but I didn't discover that one at the beginning. It was later on. But all the same, all of those things, I was just getting tips, from the chat room, and I was applying them. But, recently, having dealing with my team members or building my team over time, I've come to discover that a lot of people just stay in the chat room, receiving a lot of information. Some of them are finished reading all the books that we keep record. All these books I've talked about, some people have actually read them, but to apply them becomes a problem. In fact, they know so much now that it becomes overwhelming. They have not applied because they don't. For them, where do I start from? In fact, you talk to somebody and they're like, I know all of these things you're saying, but how do they are not applying it. And why you're not seeing results is because you're not applying what you are reading or whatever information you're getting. Have you applied it? Most of them don't apply.
They're not doing
Sorry?
it. They're not doing it. They're not
They're
doing
not
it.
doing
They're
it.
not learning it.
Exactly. So LDT, learn to teach. You're learning, whatever you're learning, go and try it. Like I said, as you're trying it, you're not going to be good at the beginning. Trust me. You'll be feeling awkward. You'll be feeling like, but just be doing. As you keep learning, you're applying. Go and try teaching another person, somebody you have brought on board the business, what you have learned. And from there, you just find yourself getting better and better. And then you see yourself growing in the rank. The truth is, whatever you want to become in this business, you need to grow to that level. You need to grow into it. You cannot just become a star director, for example. You need to grow yourself to become star. That's where personal development comes in. You need to, so many other things. Let me allow you to ask another question. It's like I've taken over the whole discussion.
No, it's exciting. It's fantastic. We've learned a lot from your story. We've seen how you got started, Long Reach, because of your past experience in the profession, you rejected it, but you decided to sell the product. And when the turning point was when your children asked why you didn't call back your upline to come pick up the product again was because you went to go and read a book, and the book helped you. And so, like I tell people, you have to learn. It's a profession. Someone chatted me up not too long that she has reached the top of the cadre. She has reached the top of learning. That's PhD. She's a doctor now, and she's in Longreach. She's not making money, but in her profession also, as a PhD holder, professor,
she's at the top.
Also making money. That Charles, what am I going to do? I see you are making it in this business. And what I shared with her is that, look, the kind of energy you put in learning up to PhD level, come and learn, put in the same learning attitude or habit in your business.
That's right.
You get to the top. She said, Charles, are you serious? I said, yes, you get to the top. Put in that effort, that energy. I know what it took. You read a lot of books, you burned candles, you did a lot of things, you spend here. I know money, but
all manner of things.
You're going to make
the summary of it is you need to take it as a job, especially the first 1 year. You need to take it as a job. Yes, you may be doing it as part-time. Yes, doing it as part-time is okay, but you make sure that you are committed to what you're supposed to be doing. You actually do the activities that you're supposed to do that will give you the end result. If you get, for those of us, for the people who work in your job, whatever job you're doing, I'm sure you were not perfect when you started. You needed to learn, the nitty-gritties of the job. That's exactly what happens here in network marketing or in Longreach. You need to learn, no matter what. The last meeting we had in Ibadan, I met a professor who came telling me this same thing you're talking about. He said, Madam, I want to make money. I'm a professor, but I need to make money. That was when it dawned on me that it's not about academic intelligence. Academic intelligence will not make you finish.
From registration, they play diamond to start at 3. Now, can you tell us, what are you grateful for in your journey so far? What are you grateful for? What has been the success story? What can you say about the success of your team members? How many star directors do you have now? And let us know.
Okay. Let me start from my first ever breakthrough in the business. When we started, by 2014, Longreach came up with a promo. 2014, Longreach came up with the first promo that I got to know about, which was a trip to America, an all-expense paid trip to America. And for me, it has always been my dream to travel abroad, which is one of my reasons of signing up in the business. One of my whys was, the all-expense paid trip. So I told myself, wow, this is a big opportunity for me. yes, my husband had been traveling out of the country. I mean, he had gone to US a couple of times, but every time I would tell him that I would like to go with him, my husband kept telling me that, no, don't worry, next time, no, next year. No money, no money, So next year never happened. As soon as I saw that promo, I made up my mind. I told myself, INIMFON, you must go to America. Hey, I made up my mind. So when I saw, I think it was, we needed about 35,000 PVs. These days, when people see the requirements for promo, I notice for them, they feel they can't make it. It's not them. It's not for them. It's for a particular set of people. So already in your mind, you're already telling yourself it's not my thing. But you need to understand, I need people to understand that your winning in business begins with you. It begins in your mind. If you think that this trip or this whatever success, the car, the trip is for a particular set of people, then so it's going to be. But if you decide that, those people don't have 10 heads, me too, I can also qualify. You know you will qualify. When I told myself, when I saw don't worry, I'm fine. I went all out, and by the time I qualified for that trip, Oluchi actually called me, our foster director today, called me to tell me, INIMFON, congratulations, you've just qualified for US trip. I said, what? See the way I screamed. And my husband was just beside me that day. So I told him, guess what? I've qualified for US trip. My husband said, really? Oh, Jesus. Do you know, you don't know that these people are trying to use your head. Oluchi wants you to do more. It was as if somebody poured cold water on me, because in my mind, I just felt that maybe Oluchi, because Oluchi, for those of us who know her, she's somebody who likes to motivate a lot. So I was thinking that maybe she's trying to get me to do more. I didn't know I had actually qualified. So I called her, I said, Oluchi, you didn't need to, lie to me that I had qualified. She told me, INIMFON, I'm not going to argue with you. Take Ivan's number. Ivan was the guy who, the agent who was in charge of our visa. Call him and do your arrangements. Immediately, I dropped that call. I called Evans. Evans told me, are you INIMFON-COLONEL? Yes, you're on my list. I need this, that from you. I'm going to schedule for your schedule for the visa interview. And I was like, what? Immediately I got the list. I told my husband all I wanted from him, all I needed from him was the letter of consent. It wasn't even up to a 24 hours. My husband produced letter of consent. He said, so that you won't say that I was the one that stopped you from going from take. He gave me letter. And honestly, my husband was waiting for me to come back to meet him for the travel flight fare from Uyo to Abuja, because as at then the visa interview was in Abuja. But he waited He didn't even hear me telling him, book my flight or don't book. I booked my flight to Abuja. I went for the visa interview, got my 2 years visa, US visa, and I came back. I showed him. He was like, oh, well, wow, congratulations, well done. Next thing he kept saying, so when are you going to the when are you going to the mockingly? When are you going? So won't you go? This your US? Is it just visa? When are you guys leaving? All true. I went for that trip, came back. My husband was still expecting to see me, for me to, come ask him for money, because as at then I was you see me here
This
at
is
the airport,
interesting.
but I wasn't stranded. Financial freedom is the best thing that can happen to any human being.
Yeah.
I was able to
Yeah.
save myself from all of that. And so by the time I came back from the trip, I got qualified for my first car. And for me, I got a call from the company asking me, Madam, what color of car do you want? That was the best call I have ever had. Imagine somebody calling you to ask you what, because at that then Longreach was giving out cars, not now. Now we are being given cash. Then it was, the company buys the car for you. So and I was like, so I have to now choose the color of car that I want. And from then on, it's been one success story to the other. And then from then on, the duplication in the team, because this is where I need everybody to understand that this business is not about you. You need to duplicate results. You cannot, in fact, there's a level you can't even pass. You can't get to another level if you don't duplicate results down the line. Now, what does it mean to duplicate results? Making sure that whatever you have gotten, you make sure your team members are also getting those results. Yes, you've started making money weekly. How many of your team members are making money weekly? How many of them? You need to be able to duplicate same. You've gotten a trip. How many of your team members have gotten trips with you? You've gotten a car. How many of your team members have gotten car? I mean, it should be that way. So duplication basically is you point everything you know about the business into the people you're bringing in, and that's where sponsorship. That's the difference between just recruiting and sponsoring. I noticed that a lot of people just recruit. People just go about recruiting. Our business is not about recruiting, it's about sponsoring. There is a big difference between recruiting and sponsoring. For sponsoring, you bring them into the business and you teach them and work with them through to excel in the business. That's sponsorship. You're responsible to the person that you brought into the business. You don't just recruit and then leave them to hang. All right?
Yeah.
I hope we got that.
We got it. We got it.
Okay.
That has been what we've been taught in this book, Don Filer.
leadership, yeah, I need to talk about this. I had to grow into becoming a leader. Now, this is where a lot of people get so scared that they feel that it's not something they can do. They don't want to deal with people. People management is one thing that network marketing business then gets you to learn as you go. You're not going to be perfect, like I said, but as you keep going, you will discover that you're beginning to relate with people in a better way, because, I mean, from all walks of life, you're going to be meeting different sets of people, people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different upbringing. You relating with them, of course, sometimes you're going to disagree. There were times I would quarrel with my upline. We will quarrel and quarrel. But as we quarrel, we make up, we continue, because we have a destination. We have our goals to achieve. So the fact that you are quarreling, you have some form of disagreement with your upline or your downline, doesn't mean that the business will not work for you. I need people to understand that you need to give room for all of those, because you're dealing with human beings, and this is where forgiveness comes in. When people offend you, in fact, you need to be committed not to be offended. Commit to not being offended, because people are going to offend you. You're going to offend people. A lot of all of those issues, but how you handle it will determine how far you go in the business. So
that's what I tell people, that instead of being offended, choose understanding.
Thank you very much.
Because it's very key.
Yes.
Sometimes we don't get to understand why things happen, but we just get offended unnecessarily. But choose understanding and get to know what happened.
And give excuses for people.
Yes.
Give excuses for people, because a lot of people are going through their own issues, their own problems. So you need to understand that they are going through those issues, but they still need to build their business. So you need to understand with them. And also, that's where leadership comes in. Yes, I know a lot of people think that I'm too soft, but the truth is we are dealing with human beings. And, by the time people begin to open up to tell you what they are going through, you will get to understand why they are behaving the way they are. So you understand with them and then try to help them out of it. That's why I tell people that network marketing is actually a ministry. It's actually a ministry where you need to help people out. Some people are going through all manner of things. So before they can even, fine-tune their mind to build the business, they need to sort themselves out. And that's where you come in as a leader to be able to help them. And by the time they come up from all of that and they are able to, excel in their business, you see them appreciating you, for what has happened. So the truth here is, as a leader, you need to be understanding. Yes, understanding, but you also need to be strict, because sometimes you can be too soft and then people, ride on that. So that's basically okay. So the success story. I've had a lot of car qualifiers, and what I wrote today on my wall on Facebook, that one of the things that gets me really fulfilled is the fact that I'm seeing people celebrating success in my team. There are people who came on board the business, they were not even sure, they thought they couldn't make it. They kept thinking it's not their thing. But today, you see them celebrating. They've duplicated so much success within their own team, so much that they too are being celebrated. So much celebrations here and there. So the truth is this: you're going to, while the duplication is going on, understand that there are going to be, how do I put it now? The success within the team makes you a fulfilled leader. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. You need to understand that by the time you see people blossoming, people that were so timid, being able to face a crowd, being able to, afford things they couldn't afford before, flying to different countries and achieving their dreams. There is nothing as fulfilling as that. it's really amazing. You're able to impact other people's lives, and it's really amazing. So we've had a lot of stories of, I mean, a lot. I mean, these days I can't even count them, but within the team right now, within the team, no, I used to count before. I would say, okay, for in my immediate family so far, we've been able to get like 9. We've qualified for 9 cars. You know, I would say we've qualified for this number of trips. But honestly, I can't count anymore. But for the cars within my immediate family, we've had like 9. Yeah, 9 with the one for 2019. 9. I mean, it's gonna be 10 at the end of the promo. Or more.
Wow.
And then 2019 we had a total of 33 people. 2018 we had 33 car qualifiers from the High Flyers team, and I know that this for 2019 is going to even be more. And now we have about 7-star directors within the team, and all of this is as a result of teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. This cannot be overemphasized. You cannot succeed in network marketing or in long reach business without a team. In fact, you know, when I hear people say, I mean, this PV is too much, I look at them like people that don't understand what they are doing, because language is not telling you, go ahead and generate 150,000 PVs. That was crazy. Yes. Only you is not supposed to generate one. It's teamwork.
Guys, that success in this business has to do with a process. And when you put in the activity, when you do the needful, when you grow in this business, you will surely have success. Focus on growth, guys. Focus on growth. All we've heard so far in this webinar today is all about growth. Build yourself before you can build your business. Build yourself before you can build your business. Because of time, I think we have spent more than 1 hour here now.
Are you serious? Wow.
I know you have a lot to share with us. We are going to do it again, but just tell us, give those who have been in the business a brief advice, then give those who are coming in newly into the business a brief advice also on how they can build their business.
Okay, let me start for those who have been in the business for some time now. One thing I would like to tell you, for those who have been in the business, is to stay focused and be consistent. Now, I mean, there is no strategy more than that. There is no super strategy. You know, people keep coming to my inbox, even in my team, they keep coming to me privately to ask, there is something you're doing. You know, there is this secret. I said, there is no other secret. In fact, the truth is this: your upline who is successful, is the strategy. You shouldn't go, looking for how to reinvent the wheels, looking for one out of the world strategy whatsoever. Go and watch or work with your upline who has been successful in the business. And even if you don't have an upline who is successful, you can find a sideline, you can find a leader and click onto that leader. There are leaders who are ready to work with you if you're ready to work with them. That's some of our team members, you find them staying at home and expecting leaders to come to your house to drag you to come and achieve success. It doesn't work like that. No, that's not going to happen. You need to step out. There are 1,001 people on the team. The truth here, what I'm trying to say is collaborate. When the going gets tough, the tough people don't just get going, they collaborate. They work together. True. They look for people of like minds to work with. Now, most people who are in the business, they tend to be discouraged. Why? Because they are busy spending time with negative people. Negativity around you will pull you down. It's easy for somebody who is up to be pulled down than from somebody that is down to be pulled up. So why don't you spend time with people who are up? Spend time with people who are in the, where you want to be. Spend time with your upline. Spend time with, go for meetings, attend meetings. This particular point cannot be overemphasized. You cannot stay at home and think you know it all. There's some things we learn on the chat room. Thank God for social media, but I still feel there is a place for physical meetings. That connection. The Bible says something, don't forsake the gathering of yourselves. It's so true here. You need to rub minds with the people who are successful or with people who are going to the same destination where you're going. If you don't spend time with them, over time you get discouraged. You get discouraged because you're spending time with people who are negative. So make sure that you are committed to attending meetings, attending trainings, both online and offline, and then commit to telling the truth. Setting the right expectation is key as well. When you go to talk to prospects, you go promise, oh my God, recently I heard one that blew my mind. How can you tell somebody that when the person comes in with 3.5 million, the person will qualify for China trip? How? And then the person comes in and doesn't qualify for that trip, what happens? The person, your integrity is gone. You start having issues here and there before you know it, police case and all of that. Integrity here is key. So make sure you're telling the truth. Commit to telling the truth is so important. And then commit to, also, what's the other thing I wanted to say? Finishing strong and staying focused. When you're focused in your business, you will see distractions will come. Expect distractions. They are going to come. When people see you committed in your business, they'll want to distract you. They'll tell you, this one is better. Come and see this one. The thing about long reach is, by the time I sat down and I looked at the long reach compensation plan, I got to discover that there is really that it's not about the money we make, but the person we become. You know, for you to become a 7-figure weekly earner, for you to become a star director, you must have gone through a whole lot. And that process is what is more interesting. That process is what makes you become more, become better. That process is what is more interesting. And so let's take that. Let's use that. Let's hold on to that process until you become, you know, what you actually want to become on the Long Reach platform. Stay focused, guys.
Whoa! Wow! Who believed that you were, what do they call it? Introvert or extrovert? Introvert?
Introvert.
and you have kept us here before. That was before. I kept us here for over 1 hour. I was someone like that. I was an introvert also. Worst one, because people now see me talking.
You don't look like it at all.
Charles, you are talking everywhere now. I learned how to talk, guys. You can learn anything. Anything is learnable. The first book that taught me how to talk was from Larry King. How to talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. That's the title of the book. And since then, I've been, because you learn.
You have left introvert to
I'm
extrovert.
both now. I'm both. Sometimes you need to be quiet. I'm both. Introvert.
Oh,
extrovert.
Really?
Everybody
I don't see you as an introvert.
Everybody need to have that. So thank you very much, boss lady. Thank you for your time. Thank you for these nuggets you shared with us. Thank you very much. And we've really learned from you today. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I say thank you very much for what you have shared with us today. A lot of people have learned so far from this, your success story. And I believe you have touched 1 or 2 persons' mind, or if not everyone, who have been in this business. I have also learned from your story. Consistency is key in this business. Everybody has a story to tell in this journey. Don't see you. Those who are successful in the business are not better than you guys. They have gone through the process, learn from them. Like what I shared yesterday is that for you to become a star director, learn what the star directors are doing. Learn what they are doing.
That's right.
Become a star director. That's a simple thing you need to do. Learn what the star directors are doing, and you surely become successful in this business. So thank you very much. We want to end our webinar today. Share some art, share some hearts, share some emoji on the group. Thank our guests today. Our next guest, hopefully, is a hotline. Hopefully, a hotline.
Wow.
Join us next week. SD4 Udeme will be on the show next week. So, guys, don't miss that show.
Shout out to my, just before I leave you guys, one thing I appreciate God for, I need to say this here, and to her, thank her so much in my life. So, Deme, I love you so much. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you for being an amazing upline.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye, guys.
All right, bye. Bye.